Okay, welcome back. In the last session, we have seen the finding the largest of three numbers using if statement and an operator. Okay, and now in this session, we will going to see the largest of three number using nested if, okay, and else statement. Okay, statement, nested if and else statement. So let me uh, remove all this, right? Okay, so as like in the previous, we have taken these three numbers. Okay, num1, num2, num3, right? And we are entering these three numbers. Okay, now let us find the logic of this, right? So what we're going to do in the last, what we have seen. Okay, let me say Control Z. It would come, yes. Okay, let me remove this. Last, what we have seen, we have in the if statement we have taken this, right? This is in the AND operator, a combination, right? So now what we do, we will not going to use the AND operator, right? Okay. So simply I want to put that if num1 is greater than num2. Okay. Num1 is greater than num2. Now if this is true, if this is true, right? If this is true, correct? If this is true, then we have to check if we are saying that num1 is greater, then we have to check whether num1 is greater than num3 or not. So I like this. So if num1 is greater than num3, right? So then I will write printf the greatest number is percentage d. Okay, so we have num1, correct? Yes. Hello, I hope it is clear. So num1 is greater than num2, we check that. Then we check whether num1 is greater than num3, right? Now if num1 is greater than num3, is we are putting num1. Now if num1 is not greater, that means num3 is greater. If num3 is greater than num1, that means obviously num3 is greater than num2, because already we have checked here num1 is greater than num2, right? So here we are checking num1 is greater than num3, means num1. Now if num1 is not greater than num3, that means num1 is greater than num1, and obviously it is greater than num2 because num1 is greater than num2, correct? Yes, right? So you can see here num1 is greater, so I put here 4, I put here 3, I put here 2. So num1 is greater than num2, we come here, okay? Now num1 is not greater than num3, so num3 is greater, okay? So if num1 is greater, we have so, sorry, that means here we put else, else, okay? Printf, what will be? Printf, okay? The greatest number is percentage d, okay? And num3. Okay, so we got num1, num3, right? Now let we have to come with this particular thing. Now if num1 is not greater than num2, that means num2 is greater, correct? So now here we have to write else, okay, then else if, okay, else if, okay, else if, what will happen here? You tell me. If num2 is greater than num3, okay. So if num2 is greater than num3, we write here printf, okay, the greatest number is percentage d. Now here it will be what? It will be num2, correct? Yes, right? So num1 is greater than num2. This is false. So false means num2 is greater. So we directly come to this statement. Okay, if this is false, we directly come to this statement. Okay, then we say num2 is greater than num3. If this is true, then this is the value is num2, and if it is false, then what? Else. Okay, what will happen? Okay, so we have here num3. Okay, so great. So that now see, this particular statement will this will execute if this is true. Okay, if this is true, this is true. Okay, then it will come down to this statement. Okay, and if this is true, okay, it will execute this. So let me say true, true. Okay, I just putting like this, so it will be clear. So if this statement is true, and if this statement is true, okay. Now if this statement is false, this is false. Okay, if this is false, okay, then this will be executed. That means first the statement is true, and then after it is false, it will be executed, right? And this statement will execute if this is false. Okay, so if it is false, it's come down to here. Okay, false, right? Initially it is false, it has come down to here. And then if this statement is true, okay, if this statement is true, then this will be executed. So this will be executed when first it is coming out false, and then it is coming out true, right? So here it is false. Okay, once it is false, it will come down to here. And if this is true, so this statement will be executed. And if this is false, if this is false, then this statement is executed. So this will be executed when the initial statement is false and also this is false. Okay, right? So let me explain it again. So if this is greater, that means this is true. So this statement will be executed. Okay, and if this is true, then this statement will be executed. That's why I'm writing true true. Yes. Then num1 is greater. So num1 is greater than num2. Num1 is greater than num3 means num1. Now num1 is greater than num2, but it is not greater than num3. So this execute this statement. Okay, true false, and it will be num3 because here we are comparing with num3 only, right? Now we are finding now here num1 is not greater, it is only num2 is greater. So we are checking again if num2 is greater than num3. Okay. Now if it is true, that means we know num2 is greater. So num2 is greater. Okay. That's why false, first statement is false, then it is true. Okay. Else, if this is also false, that means num3 is greater. So we have false and false, which is num3. Right? Okay. So now let us execute it. Okay. So let us see first with num1 is greater. So let us say this is suppose say 9, this is 3, this is 6. So num1 should be the greatest. So we got the num1. So how this will be executed? How this will be executed? Again, right? Num1 is 9, so 9 is greater than, sorry, 9 is greater than 9 is greater than 3. Yes. Again 9, sorry, 9 is greater than 6. So this statement has executed. Okay, right? Next. Okay, so next I will put here, say this is 2, this is 4, and this is 3. Okay, so now 4. So that means now num1 is 2 and num2 is 4. Okay, right? This is executed. Okay, that means it has come down to this statement because num2 is greater. Is num2 is greater than num3? Num2 is greater than num3? Yes, we got it, num2. Okay, right? Okay, fine. So let us again next example we see. Okay, so now let us say num2 is 4, this is 3, and this is suppose say 9. Okay, so what we get 9. Now how this is executed? Now we see num4 is 4. 4 is greater than 3. Yes, it come down to here. But is 4 is greater than 9? No. So this statement execute. So num3 we got it. Okay, right? So one more statement we need to see this. So let us execute. Okay, so okay, so let us say this is 3, this is 4, so down to will be greater. Okay, now here it is 9. Okay, so we get 9. Now see, num1 is 3, so 3 is greater than 4, no, so it directly come down to this statement. Now we see whether 4 is greater than 9, no, so it directly come down to here, and this statement is executed. Okay, right? So see, this is one of the principle also you will understand when you move down to your higher part of your engineering and all, right? When you discuss about software engineering. Okay, so these I have use all my what do you say, uh, examples here. Actually I'm taking saying example, but when you learn higher class you would say these are test cases. So each test cases I've seen in order to execute whether this statement is executed or not, this statement is executed or not, this statement is executed or not, and this statement is executed or not. Okay, right? This is how we have seen. So I hope the entire the concept is clear. Okay, so that means if num1 is greater than num2, okay, you will move down to this statement. And if this statement is true, this is executed. And if this statement is false, okay, then this statement is executed, right? And now if this is false, it directly comes down from here to this, okay? And if this is true, if this statement is executed. And if this is false, then this statement is executed, okay, right? So you need little bit of practice, and I hope it will be very clear to all of you. Okay, thank you so much.